the something there, the P, the fatness, the stickety stay, the gumption, the glue. So much names we could have called it. But if you're focused on that, and I know, brethren, it's the greatest thing. But if you're focused on that above your purpose, we see so many brethren that squander their opportunities, that have so much talent and potential, but they have not been able to manifest that. They are poor.
In one of your early episodes on Lion Voice Network, you spoke about the importance of men putting their purpose over.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Or that's something there. Yeah. Because we keep it PG. Because my children watch my thing. But I use the word pum pum because it's shocking to hear the ras sometimes. You know, yes, we know some of the artists gone there, so, but you have to be abrupt to break through sometime. The messaging. Purpose over pum pum simply mean what we were talking about throughout this interview. Seek your purpose first. Nothing should derail over your pum pum. That means your purpose come even before your wife. Because to service your wife and to bring that security to your wife, you have to be solidified on your purpose. There's nothing that brings anxiety to a woman more than a man that doesn't know what he wants to do or that's not on his purpose. Women by their nature, you know, they crave security because they are nurturers. And if they don't get that security, they're not. So a lot of people make the mistake, I want to put my woman on the pedestal before all things, and then their woman end up cheat on them, their woman lose respect for them, because guess what happened, brethren? You're not on your purpose. So you're not shining through that great divine king that you could be. So purpose come over pum pum is whether you're married, you're single, the purpose has to be here because you are first and foremost a servant of the Most High. So, and this is why the order of importance is so critical. Seeking the Most High, finding out what your passion is, that means what would you be doing to a high level of proficiency if you were not being paid, if, you know, what do you do where time just passes and you can't even know because you're so engrossed in it. Find out whatever that is, monetize, create your economic base. Put that first because, again, that's going to be the glue that allows you to bring a woman in, to have her be in love with you and love you for the duration of your marriage because she believes in the mission. It aligns with her own personal purpose and life mission. This is why she was drawn to you. This is why you vetted her during that process to make sure that through the seasons, through the ups and the downs, she was still as passionate as you were about this passion. So you made her your wife. And when she's your wife, you put that purpose at the forefront so that you could keep that electricity in your union, so that your wife will continue to see you in that high esteem because she sees that you are an anointed brethren who's on his mission. And that is going to get the river Nile flowing, if you know what I mean, as a brethren. We oftentimes, because of the romantic, you know, in TV where the woman is the prize and all of that, we get caught up in all of that. The Almighty is the prize. The purpose is the prize. Everything else shall be added. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Almighty and all the righteousness, and all things shall be added. So everything else is added based on you seeking being that divine instrument. Because being an instrument, the Almighty wants you to have a helper to execute his work in the best way. So the human being is both, you know, the human species is both male and female. So when they say become one flesh, you cannot reach a fullness of who you are without that balance, the female, which is why when you connect with that female, you're able to generate life, that Trinity principle, and you're able to multiply a new life form. So we have to have that purpose to make sure that we're in alignment. And the people you see with happy marriages are typically ones that fall into this configuration. In the comment section, you're going to see a lot of people say, well, me and my wife, there's exceptions to every rule. And a lot of things that we like to do is argue the exception. So because I know Tom and Jerry and they're in a partnership and this and that, or I know Susan and Frank and they're in a partnership and I know this example and it seems to be working well, I want to argue against the basic principle. We cannot do that, family. We have to look at the general what works since time immemorial. That is what I advocate for. I can't advocate for anything else. And I think because let's be real, Pum Pum is a great motivator. When I was a young man, when I woke up, that was a thought before I went to bed, Miggle Day, we used to go to clubs. That was the motivator, the clothes, everything that you would do. You understand?
I want to say this real quick, right?
Yeah.
I think if men, all right, if you ask a man about his purpose, right,
Yeah.
they'll struggle to tell you, or they'll say they don't know how to go about it.
Yes.
And what I've been telling young guys is that all the skills that you use to get the lady, no, serious thing, you use a lot of different skills. You're
It's true.
negotiating, you're very strategic and all that, consistent. If you use those things towards other things, you'll notice you'll start to achieve them. They don't know how to transfer skill sets to other things.
It's crucial. It's crucial.
There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy dudes use. Is a whole day, week. It's just constant.
When I think about when I was having, in the height of my Gallus run, and you have a multi-woman rotation, think about the time investment into each of those options. Because if one decline, you want to call the next one and all of this. So those relationships have to be maintained. You're investing. Time management. Storytelling. Negotiation, as you say. Charisma. Selling a story, of who you are and what you bring to the table. As you say, these are transferable skills. That's one of the things that woke me up against that lifestyle is when I realized the waste, and that if young men spent that time investing in their purpose, where they would be. If you use your 20s to really dig down when you have that strength, when you can bleach with ease, Because right now, it takes tremendous effort for me to stay up all night. As a young man, I could do it, and still wake up and do what I have to do. If you were to take that and invest that into a business or opportunity, and remember, failure is a part, so you would get the opportunity to fail, try again, refine. By your 30, can you imagine where you would be? I can't even imagine where I would be if I had used those years to really invest, the way I know now. So it's so crucial to take the time, and it's uncomfortable. This is why most people don't know what their purpose is, because it's uncomfortable. You have to ask yourself hard questions. You have to try things, because you might have in your mind, I'm a basketball player, aficionado, and you go on the court and a man dunk on you and you feel away because you can't make it when you put your all into something. But you need to know that by putting in the effort, because some of the things in your mind, your head canon, might not gel with the reality of you trying to implement. And it's important as a man that you give yourself the time to fail, because guess what? I might not be the basketball star, but I might find that I'm a good coach. You know what I mean? By doing it and I open up opportunities for myself. I interviewed one of my good brethren, marksman Courtney Charles, who's the vice president of the Raptors. He started off as a coach, just doing scoreboard and thing like that. And then through doing that, he volunteered for the Raptors until he worked his way up to the vice president of basketball operation, wealthy brethren now, because of the fact that he pursued his passion. So you might not know where the passion may even lead you within the sphere of that passion. But doing it allows you to get those failures, to get those successes, so that you can. But if you're focused on the something there, the P, the fatness, the stickety stay, the gumption, the glue, so much names we could have called it. But if you're focused on that, and I know, brethren, it's the greatest thing. But if you're focused on that above your purpose, we see so many brethren that squander their opportunities, that have so much talent and potential, but they have not been able to manifest that. They're poor. They have only a legacy of children that are not taken care of as a result of their activities, and not a legacy of institutions that they've built, success that they can point to. And so we have countless examples of that in our community. We have to change the tide, and we as brethren are responsible. Generation X, I'm calling on the ones them to stand up in this time and make a stand. We can't leave it to the millennials them. They didn't have the same opportunities. They are digital. natives. We came in that analog and that bridge. We saw the traditional families, the last of that analog era. We lived it. You know what I mean? So we have a unique opportunity and a unique role, I would say, as well, to break these generational curses and to start this alternative, because we cannot burn Babylon without creating the alternative to Babylon. And that is the whole encapsulation of my platform, of my purpose, of my plan, is really to be a part of the solution, to really be a part of the building of Zion in our real life. That's what excites I. That's what makes I passionate, is to be a part. I don't want to be part of the reactionary force. The reactionary force is necessary. We have to react to the crisis and this person gets shot and we need a march. That's not I. We need people pushing the front so that when we get the justice from the march, we can pour it into something that's being built already. But if we spend all the time on reaction, we never have a time to create the alternative, and we just go down with Babylon. And that has been the imbalance in our struggle. We spend all the time reacting, and there's only a handful of people that are building the alternative. So I'm really putting out that trumpet call to like-minded brethren to join I&I on I&I platforms, that we can create the solutions for the future, because we need ones who are living the life to share their experience. And I, my mantra is, the time has come for the lions to tell their own story, because this is the lion voice. And I say that because until the lion tells a story, the hunt will always glorify the hunter. That's the African proverb. So we have to take ownership. We have to take control of the narrative. Part of that is self-discipline. Part of that is breaking the generational curse of putting that something there as the primary focus of all of our activity. If you listen to our music, it's geared to do what? Keep us in that lustful, low vibration. This is why I had to leave dancehall. I was a bounty killer, top fanatic fan growing up, you know what I mean? But when I came into Rastafari, I had to leave them thing there. Beanie Man, all of them ones them used to, I was big in the dancehall, because I'm an artist as well. But I had to leave that when I realized that that was taking us nowhere. And they were only singing about what they had seen growing up in the inner city, which is reflecting that trauma. Enough gal and gal in a bungle, gal you have the shape, gal you have the figure. All of these girl tunes, when you look at, these girl tunes, they're not about building families or stable structure. So that was the mantra that I grew up with that helped to govern. So we need a counterbalance to that narrative. And this is where you find I, at this moment, telling the people purpose over pum pum, or purpose over that something there.